You're not gonna kill me?
Don't tell me what to do!
Hey friends, this episode did not have a lot of action, but it did have a ton of poop and commentary about modern love. There are spoilers ahead if you haven't watched the episode, watched the first season of The Good Place, or read The Old Man and the Sea, but if you're good with all of that, now let's break down Rick and Morty Season 4, Episode 2, The Old Man and the Seat. This episode is named after The Old Man and the Sea, which is a short novel by Ernest Hemingway about an old fisherman who's down on his luck and takes off into far water to catch fish. He catches a huge marlin, but on his way back to shore, the marlin is eaten by sharks. He returns with nothing but a marlin skeleton showing what he's lost. Rick was chasing a peaceful toilet experience, but when he set out to kill the person who took that from him, he found a friend. When he finds out that Tony died, he's left with the bones of a friendship and a not-so-peaceful toilet. Originally, the episode title was Rick's Special Place, according to the website that the QR code on Rick's robot disguise hat leads to. The proceeds of that online store benefit Notes for Notes, a nonprofit after-school music program.
I've got a quick solo adventure to go on, and this one will not be directed by Ron Howard.
There are 3 storylines in this episode. One is Rick's emotional solo journey, not directed by Ron Howard, and the other 2 stem from Jerry doing the one thing he was told not to do before the credits, in classic sitcom style.
Did you develop an app?
Rule number 1 in app development, son. Never follow the rules.
Except when the rule is tattooed on an alien's forehead, Dad!
He develops an evil alien app called Love Finders with 2 R's and a Z. Jerry and Gluty's shared loneliness bond them in the end of the episode and make Gluty sympathetic enough to save the Earth by putting the Monogatron app behind a paywall. Summer's loneliness causes her to use the Love Finders app in the first place, and Beth's abandonment issues cause her to be the non-consensual parent struggling against Summer's wayward love life, which sometimes gets her into actual danger. The best part of Beth and Summer's storyline is the crazy amount of transportation used by people coming to stop the weddings in the church. A parachute, a motorcycle, a horse, a cherry picker, a hot air balloon, and a hang glider.
You know what shy pooping is, Rick? It's a pointless bid for control. You want to take the one part of life that you truly think is yours, and you want to protect it from a universe that takes whatever it wants. It took my wife. It clearly took something from you.
Rick and Tony bond over their mutual loneliness, even as Rick fights that he likes Tony. All the storylines were commentaries about love in their very own Rick and Morty way. Jerry tries to be his son's friend but is rejected because he's a selfish idiot. Summer is looking for love in the superficial dating app landscape. Beth is a controlling mother who wants the best for her daughter, and Rick finds an enemy in Tony, but quickly that turns into friendship and then loss when Tony dies. Also, the Monogatron's leader's relationship, which seems strong in the beginning of the episode, quickly dissolving after he has a failure, can be contrasted against Beth and Jerry sticking together even though Jerry is always a failure and Beth has other prospects. Morty in this episode seemed like he's becoming more loveless and Rick-like as time goes on, even as we see that Rick isn't the heartless monster that he's led on in previous seasons.
It's hard losing a friend.
You.
What?
It's not my friend.
Now some other things you may have missed. Lovefinders.com is a real website you can go to. When Jerry opens the fridge in the after-credits scene, you can see the dirty bully from the last episode on a milk carton and the sad butterbot from Season 1. Summer and Beth's storyline begins in Merple's Mall, last seen in Season 3, in front of To Fung, which is a reference to Din Tai Fung, a Taiwanese restaurant that specializes in dumplings, and it's fucking delicious. The parents in the mall just leave their baby after their first matches on the Love Finders app. Rick walking through this tall grass looks like a nod to Gladiator, but we saw that in the trailer for the episode months ago. When Rick is analyzing the poop data, the song My Shit from Boogie in a Hoodie is playing. The Monogatron's leader looks like a Darth Sidious reference.
You will now witness the true power of superior intimacy.
Witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
And Morty and Jerry are teleported onto their ship using very Star Trek-like technology. Rick telling the secretary at Tony's work to watch the Beverly Hillbillies seems like a meta joke from an older writer's room to its younger audience.
Watch Space Beverly Hillbillies so my jokes can land, you
The sandwich in question is a club sandwich with no lettuce, provolone cheese, tomato, mayo, and what looks to be poultry number 3. This whole episode is a love letter to the show The Good Place. That show is about switching people's relationships around to create chaos, which is what the Monogatrons were doing with their app. Beth's Love Finders match was Ted Danson, who stars in The Good Place, and one of Summer's soulmates took off her shoes and socks on a plane, which is an assessment question Ted Danson's character asks to see if someone is a good person. This may be a stretch, but Jerry saying "God damn" after getting burned by Gluty may be a nod to Noob Noob from Season 3.
God damn.
Also, the dinosaur race the robots are fighting kinda looked like Crocubot. In this episode, we see a lot of new Rick tech in addition to the multi-butt stink bomb. Rick has a space reindeer robot whose antlers hide the hidden stairway to his Batman-like sewer base. He has an impact scanning device and a reverse poop extrapolator. Also, Rick pooped 27 times since Tony did. You'd think he would have noticed the broken twig a bit sooner. Rick has a force field suit with Cyclops-like laser goggles and a giant mech suit with anatomically correct orifices. Rick has a room full of people that he hasn't killed but doesn't want to deal with in everyday life. He keeps them in paradise, but it's the Rickest version of heaven ever.
The chemical is globofin. It connects the whatever you want section of your brain to the whatever you have section.
One thing that felt familiar to me but I couldn't place was the mountain in the distance that Rick looks at while he's pooping. It seems like a mix between Mount Doom and the castle from the Neverending Story. But if you have something better, let me know in the comments.
Guys, I'm just starting out with these on my own. I left a big company a while ago that I was doing these for, and I'm just having a whole bunch of fun trying to motivate myself. I run my own production company, so I'm trying to figure out how to find time for these within all of that. It's been great, but I really appreciate anybody who shares this stuff or comments or likes. I'll try to respond to everybody, especially if you guys have any questions. I like this stuff as much as you guys do, so as always, tell me if I missed anything. And thank you so much for watching. I love you.